Good morning, everyone. This is Beautiful Disaster. Hope everyone's having a great Friday morning. I want to talk a little bit about this case. A lot of weird stuff. A lot of weird stuff. I'm only going to touch on a couple things. One, Chief John Walker is acting very, very weird. And no, I'm not saying that he's acting weird because I want all details now. No, that's not what I'm saying. I know that he cannot give every shred of information because it will taint the case. I know that. But you don't even know that the reward is up to $100,000 now. You think it's at 80,000. That's one. You tell during his press conference, press release, whatever you want to call it, after searching the home, you tell news media that no neighbors had seen any of the children. A woman from the community does an interview and says that's not true. The children are on camera. So those two things right there are the most important things that I have found really weird and odd as a chief. Now, Orrin and Orson have been missing since December 21st. Now, this is my personal opinion. Supposedly from Cal City, California. Me personally, I don't believe that they went to Cal City in September. The adoptive Trezell and Jacqueline, the adoptive parents, have only been in Cal City since September of 2020. The boys supposedly go missing December 21st, 2020. This is when they were reported missing. December 21st, 2020, after 6 p.m., Trezell told Jacqueline to call the police because it was getting dark and he needed help finding the boys. You can go back and watch Trezell's interview, and he says exactly that. I told my wife to call the police because it was getting dark and I needed help finding the boys. After he rode through the neighborhood for 6 minutes and then went back home and stood in the driveway for 13 minutes. Now, I find, like I said, this is my personal opinion. For the trolls in the back, this is my personal opinion. I found Trezel's body language during the interview very, very telling. He's standing with his arms crossed and his hands tucked. Stiff posture. Hands tucked, arms crossed, stiff posture. It's telling of two things. One, you think you're in control. Two, you have your hands tucked because you have something to hide. Your hands are injured. Not saying his hands were injured, but normally when the hands are tucked, they have something to hide. Some type of injury on their hand or hands. Could be self-injury. Could be injury after the fact or during. Me personally, I do not believe that Orson and Orrin ever made it to Cal City. I had a gut feeling before the cadaver dogs, but with the cadaver dogs not hitting any scent outside the home, on the back porch. Now remember, the boys were sent outside December 21st. They were sent outside because Jacqueline was wrapping Christmas gifts. So why didn't the cadaver dogs pick up a scent outside? They were supposedly on the back patio playing with chalk. Why didn't the cadaver dogs pick up scent? Nowhere in the backyard did the cadaver dogs pick up scent. No dog that was used to search the home and the backyard picked up any scent outside the home. Strike number one. Those boys were never outside. If they were in Cal City, if they come to Cal City with the adoptive parents, Trezel and Jacqueline, in September, those boys were never outside. If those boys were never outside, how did the lady in the interview see the boys on camera? Her words. When asked if any of the neighbors had seen any of the children, she said, nobody has physically seen the children, but they were seen on camera. Very strange. Very strange. They've never physically been seen by neighbors with the naked eye, but they have been seen on camera. Another thing that I found very strange. is the chief keeps doing all the interviews. If the chief isn't doing the searching, the examining of the evidence, why isn't the FBI or Bakersfield PD or another officer in Cal City PD doing the interviews? The ones who are actually working, actively working the investigation. Why aren't they giving interviews? The chief, John Walker, I don't know what to say about him because he's making it very confusing, very awkward. Now I'm going to go back to he didn't know that the reward was $100,000. He thought the reward was still $80,000. If you're not actively working the case, why are you doing interviews about said case? There's just a lot of awkward stuff, a lot of weird stuff going on with these boys. Nobody will tell when the last time was these boys were actually seen, physically seen with the naked eye. Nobody will tell when the last time they were seen. Why not? Now, I know I'm jumping around to different subjects, but these are the things that has been constantly going through my mind. One, if John Walker is going to do interviews on an active investigation, how does he not know that the reward went from $80,000 to $100,000? Two, John Walker, Chief John Walker, said he could not comment about Trezell and Jacqueline having a lie detector test. Said interviewer told him, well, we're not asking if they denied or if they took it. Then Chief's going to jump in and say, yes. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Chief, if you can't answer the question, don't answer it. But glad to know that they were told that they needed to take a lie detector test. That is good to know. But if you can't talk about it, don't indulge in it. Another thing that I find very, very weird and very awkward, as soon as the boys went missing, as soon as Orrin and Orson went missing, the adoptees moved back to Bakersfield. I find that very awkward. You have two babies missing, supposedly in Cal City, but yet you move back to Bakersfield. Back to said apartment that you moved from in September. Why would you leave Cal City when you have two babies missing? Or are they really missing from Cal City? It's a lot of questions. A lot of questions. A lot of stuff doesn't make sense. A lot of stuff is not adding up. And I don't like how things are going. The only thing that I liked that the chief said was this case is nowhere near a cold case. A case doesn't have an expiration date on it. I like that he said that. But I understand that he's got to keep a lot of stuff close to the vest. I completely understand that, and I do not expect for him to jeopardize this case and Orrin and Orson getting justice. I completely understand keeping stuff close to the vest. And no, I'm not these people out here that expect every little detail to be given when I think it should be given. No. No. I do not expect every shred of information to be given. I know that giving every bit of information will jeopardize the case. But the only thing I'm saying is, if you're not actively working the case and you don't know simple little information, such as how much the reward is, stop giving interviews. Stop giving interviews. Let the people, the officers, the investigator, whoever that is actively working the case, give interviews. Have a good day, everyone.